Hi, I'm Robyn Lynch. Welcome to my studio in Hackney Wick. Please come inside. You're gonna go the whole way?
I mean, I think it gets easier as I go on. So like at the very beginning, I think we did a lot of legwork in terms of like brand identity, and that was where like the bulk of research has gone into the brand. So for me, the brand is about celebrating and recognising Irish culture on a global scale and through fashion, whether that's through graphic references, whether that's through the team that I work with, music inputs. But just to try and tell that story, because when I was in university, I felt like there wasn't necessarily a brand that I could look up to and reference or feel part of. So I felt like there was a small gap in the market there in the menswear scene in particular. So that's kind of where the brand started from. So originally I enrolled in the National College of Art and Design in Dublin, and fashion was what I wanted to do. It was my number one choice, but unfortunately it's such a small university and places are so tight, I actually didn't get fashion. So textiles, surface design was my second choice. But actually in hindsight, it was the most amazing course. We learned so much more things that I think stand to me now as a designer in terms of fabrication development, sourcing, fibre technology in terms of like garment dyeing and printing. It was just like such an abundance of skill set that I think has stood to me way more than fashion. But fashion was still the end goal always.
It's cute. So we have, for students actually it's quite useful, we have a page on our website called our journal. And basically what we do is we just upload every single photograph that we take on our phone throughout a collection. And basically, if you go onto the website, you'll very quickly be able to identify which season the photographs are from because of the color scheme and the idea that they have. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to make like a little book that kind of had all of these photographs from our phone that just captured the exact moment, and they're not staged and they're just true to their self. And along with sketches.
Right.
Yeah, it's really good. And also our color board as well with some backstage images. And and just like a quick and easy way to be able to translate across ideas and show development. And our little shamrock biscuits. So this is a knit structure that we developed for our spring-summer 2023 collection, but then we did it in cotton and we reinterpreted that into merino wool for their IWP program, or our IWP collection, sorry.
It is so important, and I think that's something we learned very early on in our university course, was to push ourselves to collaborate and message people on Instagram and just try and expand our network. And I think actually the people who you work with are so much more valuable than any for example, like a structure or some sort of like a stockist or store can seem like the pinnacle or the most important thing actually, but it's the people who you work with that are going to help benefit you. And then I think if you have the luxury, or if you have I understand it's a privilege, but if you can just try and get as much work experience or internships would be incredible. Even if you can just do one day a week helping backstage dressing for a show, you can just send a message to someone, preferably an email, keep it short, keep it sweet, express your interests, say that you're young, say that you would just even love to just shadow. And I think sometimes designers, they do get an influx of emails, so it is quite a lot, but you never know, you could get lucky.
I like this people hanger. Yeah, and we have our CP hanger by accident. We have like a double neck. We did this on quite a lot of things since the very beginning as well. And then we have like our crews as well, which are just like our super soft merino jumpers, which I have on me today. And basically we have like our reflective embroidery thread detailing. So when you take a photo with the flash, it's like kind of like our tie, or our nod to sportswear. And like getting our new books from our suppliers. So basically we'll receive these every different season, and then we'll have a flick through and see what kind of textures and what thicknesses and density that we want to go for this season. And then my favorite part is color. So we'll get obviously our new colour books every season, and then just trying to start to build a collection from there. Obviously each colour is expensive to develop, so we kind of try and hone ourselves into like maximum 3-4 shades at most, and then we just try and like pair them together.
I mean, in terms of the Woolmark Prize, first and foremost, I was an intern with Phoebe English when she partook in the prize, and then I was also an intern with Cotweiler when they partook in the prize. So yeah, it was always one of my dream goals to be a part of it, and then I just applied as I did. It's my second time applying, and then I finally got the email to say I was part of the finalist. And it was just an amazing experience to be able to have financial contribution to help develop the collection, because being a small brand, our limitations are so tight in terms of our budget and what we can afford in yarns and development and processes. So it really gave us the ability to be able to purchase yarns and use techniques that we might have not been able to in the past.
And it's 100% merino wool, and we did the trim detail. So it's just kind of like a full, fun development on from our traditional iron knits that we've done in the past. It's kind of like the drunk uncle version of like our cable. It's a bit wacky. And this is, so this is the signature silhouette that we developed for my MA collection. And we've kind of just repeated it with the scooped hem. So basically we bring up the hem and attach it here, and basically it just kind of creates like this bubble silhouette shape. It's 100% merino wool. It is very heavy.
Some of my classmates, their references and their research and their approach to design was just so fun. And I almost noticed in a way that, you know, you would really look forward to their presentation because you know you're going to have a lighthearted, a humor approach to it. So I just really drew inspiration from them as well and took that on board and tried to we're very serious, and we use very serious fabrications and developments, and I'm very serious about sustainability. But then also just to have that humorous approach, I just think, you know, it's not that deep. So it should be fun.
This was a really beautiful Eskimo yarn. It was 77% merino extra fine wool. And then our outcome for this one was this jumper here. So it's super, super soft, almost like a super soft fleece. So we would get these, like a photography studio was throwing these out, so we got these for free. And basically I kind of really like to visualize the collection and put all the references and the fabrics all in one place so we can make the direct correlation and just jot down ideas as they come to us and stick them on the board. So for example, these we'll just use some product shots and then develop the new graphic on top of a pre-existing photograph that we already have instead of drawing it out again. Or for example, this jacket idea that we had, you know, this jacket was from our last season, and basically it was a crop like that, but we just extended it down in Photoshop to mimic that we want to make a longer version of it. So we kind of use drawing in like a, not like the stereotypical sense, but in a bit more of like a collage. In Photoshop, I use a lot of Photoshop to manipulate some images and found garments. But yeah, so then we would, from these then, start our sampling process.
I feel like when we're in school, you're taught it's a very specific way that you have to communicate your ideas, whether that's in maths or English or geography or anything. I think with fashion and design, find your form of communication that works well for you. If you are not the most technical pattern cutting person, but you know what the shapes you want to make, use charity shops to your advantage. I still to this day go and source a garment and cut it up and translate my ideas that way because it's quicker, it's cheaper, it's more convenient, it's more sustainable than producing more things, and it's a form of drawing. So I think whatever form that you find your expression in, whether that is video, sketching, collage, I think just like really try and find what works best for you instead of trying to fit into the norm of a specific way that maybe you've been taught in school.